Hello, Instagram. Welcome back to another live. Just gonna add my guest here, Phoenix Rising. And we will get started shortly. This is gonna be such a good live. So whether you catch this while it's being filmed or whether you catch the replay, just tune in, ask your questions, and yeah, stick around. It's going to be a beautiful topic on connecting with your sacred self. But naturally, the topic of conversation might kind of stream away, which is totally natural. But just stick around because there's going to be some really good messages shared here tonight, some ancient knowledge, and just some love, perhaps even some channeled messages as well. So hello, welcome. So I guess while I wait for Phoenix to join the live, let's see. So, okay, perfect. It's been a while since I've been on Instagram Live, so I kind of forgot how the live works here. But I guess while I wait for Phoenix to join, for those of you that are new that don't know me, my name's Yasmin, and I'm a medium. I'm sharing messages to help raise collective consciousness on the planet. So I'm excited to bring this live today because Phoenix is one of my fellow soul sisters, and I know that she's going to have a lot of good messages to share as well. I chose the topic connecting with your sacred self because basically we are reaching a different paradigm shift in the universe, and we are being called to step into like our individual gifts. There she is. Perfect timing. Okay, Phoenix, I invited you up, so hopefully it should work. Let's see. Yay!
Hey!
Oh my gosh.
Let me just adjust my light here.
No worries. Wow, that was actually perfect timing. Look at the clock. Yeah, I can hear you fine. Can you hear me?
Yes, I have you on my AirPods, so it's better.
Okay.
Let me turn up my volume.
I can. Perfect. Oh my gosh. I was actually going to start the live at 6:11 your time, and then I was like, no, let me just start it earlier. And then, of course, you joined right at that time. I love that. I feel like I have so much to tell you and share with the collective.
Telepathically, you know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't know if you like heard my messages before. I was like telepathically speaking with you before our live started. I was like, I wonder if she could hear me. I was like, okay, like we'll just go with the flow. She knows what I'm going to talk about. I feel like I know what she's going to talk about is going to be for the collective. Is my thing freezing up, my live?
No, I can see it.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so I know I picked the title Connecting with Your Sacred Self, but it's going to be natural that we're going to stream away from the topic at any time in the live. So if anyone has questions, feel free to ask. I'm just grateful to connect with you, Phoenix, because you have a lot of wisdom and knowledge. And just before our live, probably like the hour and a half before, I felt the same energy that I felt prior to our first FaceTime that we had together. And this is what happens when you connect with other high vibrational beings. You sort of feel like you're being pulled into their energetic field, where you feel like you have to like cleanse your energy and your space so that you both are like equally almost like pure in a non-weird way. Like I felt like I needed to like meditate and like listen to frequency music. I was like, okay, I'm about to hop on live. My guides kept saying, you're going to see your fellow disciple. And I was just like, okay, cool, because it's like you join with other high vibrational people, and then all of a sudden you start wanting to do different habits and things that are like aligning you to that same frequency. So, and this happened last time, remember? So I'm just grateful to talk with you tonight.
Yeah, we're already connected. So it's like when I'm dancing, you're meditating. When you're giving me messages, I'm giving you messages. And then it's like we'll message each other and we're like thinking the same thing, or like, you know what I'm saying? Like we have a lot of like strong synchronicities, especially from the first time that we spoke, which was amazing. It was like 3 hours was like nothing, you know.
I
So
know. Oh my
it
gosh.
shows like those sister connections, you know.
Yeah. No,
So,
I don't totally resonate with that. It's like you will meet so many people in your life, but there comes a time where you'll start to meet other people who are literally matching the inner work that you did. And I get so excited when I meet new people, like to be able to connect with other light workers. I mean, I'm not a huge fan like of technology, and I know you know this, like, but I definitely
yeah.
cherish, right? Like I know you know this, like, but
I'm
it's
like,
like
I've
you
never thought,
almost like
oh my
it's like, and it's like so crazy because like you almost like really cherish the fact that this is the way that it has unfolded in our society, where we almost get to connect like digitally in this way and like really reach a span of other people that are also awakened, that are also like connecting to themselves. And the reason why I just love your energy so much, and this is kind of like what I wanted to talk about in the live, my guides have been telling me like all day today and just like for the past few days about how we're like really anchoring in connection to ourself, like connecting with the root, but also just tapping into our own. It's like the age of the self healer, and
yes.
basically the age of the self healer, which I don't know if that's like a thing that's already talked about, but I kept hearing that over and over again. um and like we're all gonna like heal ourselves, tap into our own gifts, whether that's intuitively or other gifts, you know, that there can be an infinite amount of gifts, you know, I can't speak to know, but the reason why I like you, Phoenix, and what you have to bring. Oh, did it freeze? Okay, hopefully you can hear me. I feel like it's my connection, so I apologize if that's the case.
I can hear
Okay,
you.
perfect. Perfect. So
No, I can
yeah,
hear
so I was saying, yeah, like the self
you.
healer.
Strong.
Yeah. What's that?
Yeah, and I agree with that. I feel that right now a lot of us are facing a lot of shadow work. A lot of us are facing, you know, wanting to connect with our higher selves, and we're finally starting to evolve. So it's like in exactly what you were saying of like what's happening right now. The people that are spiritually awakened, the people that are evolving, the people that are meant to change. You know, the collective energies are all starting to connect. Either a stranger on a bus or someone on social media. Like it's coming in full force. So it's just like be aware of like everything that like a synchronized life, you know, um, is what I'm feeling really strongly, that this is just the time that we're all really like rising more than falling.
Exactly. And like really, really tuning into, it's almost like a sense of like mindfulness, like being aware about what is happening in your environment almost, and like how what is happening in your environment causes you to turn within yourself. I hate that this thing is like freezing. I hope that you guys can hear me. This is the downside of internet, but it's fine. It's the frequency. Alrighty. Can you guys hear us or hear me? Or is Phoenix buffering? I feel like my connection is working. Let's see. Let's invite her back in. Wow, the energy tonight is actually really, really powerful, and I feel like this message is almost, it's almost so powerful that the social media is like, the AI is like filtering, where it's like buffering like this. Okay, let me just, oh babes, okay. It like froze for a hot minute. Or am I freezing? Okay, you guys, if you're in the comment section, please let me know because I have no idea what's going on with this live. I feel like Phoenix, you're talking, but it's buffering on my end. Okay, yeah, same. I just heard you telepathically. Oh my gosh, okay. I'm just gonna give it a second, you guys, but let me know in the comments if you can hear anything. And I see someone commented, I resonate so much of this. I've been getting messages of me stepping into my gifts and anchoring the incoming light and energy. Yep. That's literally what's happening. And it's like, honestly, really humbling because you're like, you start to realize how powerful you are. Okay, Phoenix, if you're freezing in the live, can you exit out and come back in and I can just invite you back? I just felt a presence in my apartment. It's all good though. It's not bad. I don't know if you can hear me, sis, but hopefully I'm not freezing up. I don't know.
We can hear you.
Really?
Let's our energy are very strong.
It's funny. It's a funny live. It's all good. But
Yeah,
I guess the energy is just so powerful. That's why it's buffering. Because we didn't have this issue when we were FaceTiming. Okay. No, but you're just really freezing on my end. It's like
I guess it's like
my face is frozen.
Not a.
I swear it's the AI. Should I exit out the live and come back? I can do that if that's easier. Oh, she exited out. Okay. It's still running, guys, so let's see. Technology. Okay. Julie Jill up in the house. Hello, Jill.
Can you see me?
Yeah, now it's way better. But it's like the camera's turned, but yeah, like it's way better now. Like it's like I can talk to you live.
Okay, let me see. Can you?
I
feel like I keep freezing.
Yeah, but half your camera.
Okay,
yeah, that's better. And well, now it's freezing. All right, we'll just like go with the flow, I guess. The internet.
It was so weird.
Yeah.
Like when you told me to get off, it like kicked me off. Everything that you were just saying, it was like a replay. I got to see the whole replay. It was really trippy, dude.
That was like a weird, like you were stuck in the Matrix.
Yeah.
Going back in that timeline.
Like live that we had just did. I got to see the whole thing. Like I got to see what you saw. Like it was weird.
It's so weird. Oh my gosh. Wait, I felt like something was gonna happen, but actually I feel like it's something still like I don't know how to explain it because I really don't know what it is, but it's like something like magical. That's the only word that's coming to mind. Just like something so synchronistic.
I can't do people. I have so like guides around me that it's hard for me to, they're all scattered, like where,
Yeah.
it's hard. Like people that lives with, they know, like I don't get that many lives because people know, like, okay, well, our whole live's gonna scramble if we work with Phoenix.
I'm the same though, but that's what happens. See, oh my gosh. You make me feel so normal, like literally, because I really don't I don't know any other mediums or psychics. So it's like you make me feel so natural. I'm sure there's so many people that are going to watch this now or catch this later are going to resonate with this too. It's like you get so much information that sometimes you don't know, and it's like easy like to change topics and like, you know what I mean? There's just so many downloads coming in. You want to go in all these different corners, and that's just how it is. Yeah. You embrace, it's like each present moment, like you're in the spaceship and you're like gearing into each corner, right? Oh my gosh, that was so weird. I don't know like if you have something on your camera or something, but I keep seeing sparkles. It's like on your eye. Oh, it's the filter. That's so cool. It doesn't even look like it's on though.
When I clicked on my thing, it just started picking shit for me.
Yeah, I know.
If I touch my phone, I can't like change
I'm just like
anything.
trying to direct.
It's like I'd rather not touch it.
That's funny. No, yeah. I'm trying to literally direct. Oh my gosh. Wait, did you find your Bastet ring?
Which one?
Your Bastet ring. Did you find it?
What is that?
Your Bastet. Didn't you have a ring with Bastet on it?
I don't think
from
so.
ancient Egypt.
No, I don't.
I swear on my life. Oh my gosh, did you have like a cool ring that you mentioned to me? I know I did not dream this. Anyways, I'm wearing my ring, so that's why I said that.
Well, I have my angels. I wear this. It's like angel wings.
Oh yeah, that one's
I
cute.
have I am porous.
Oh, I think that's what you were telling me about. I love that. Listen, you have
They're
such a beautiful vibe, Phoenix. Like, let me tell you something that I feel like the people who catch this need to know is all the different ways to connect to yourself. Because something that I see on your social media, you're always like dancing, you're tuning into the frequency of the present moment. I saw this video where you were just like vibing with the beat of each song, and I just feel like that's so important. Like you need to tap into that frequency of like how your heart energy is connecting to the world that we're in, like this creation. It goes so deep. But like I really feel like the things that you do make it almost easier in a way to connect with your higher self and with your sacred self. It's like you don't, once you find out these tools, it's like you don't really have an excuse not to tap into who you are, right? Because these things are so easy and they're so applicable. So like something that you always do is dancing, right? Like, and we're in Aries season and you're in Aries.
yes.
Yeah.
I feel that rituals, as far as connecting to your higher self with, the fire, water, everything. It's so important right now with Aries season. Everyone's like fiery sides are coming out, so it's really important. I do like to dance things out. I like to sing. I also write. Also, just taking a salt bath, getting out and letting the wind blow through your hair, putting your feet in the ocean. I mean, wherever you're at, like there's so many different ways to work with elements, but it's so important right now because if not, you're so undergrounded. Like people seem to think that like, okay, I meditated today, but why do I feel like this? It's because you haven't really cleansed your soul with all of the elements. It's very important. It's for especially light workers and star seeds. It's important to do it daily because
Yeah.
otherwise you're going to be very imbalanced throughout your whole day.
Yeah. That makes sense. Like it's like your energy centers. You're almost like your energy field. Like in order to really cleanse your energy field, like your human body in this earth plane, you have to connect with the earth elements because your body's on earth. It really does make sense. And you're so right about Aries season. I absolutely love Aries. My closest friends are Aries. That energy is just so potent. Really, it is the start. To me, it feels like the start of a year because it really is the start of that zodiac year. And so, what I like about this energy is that it does bring that fuel to like ignite more passion in your life, like ignite more connection to your own sacred self. So you were talking about dancing. What are the other elements that are, I guess, like tools you would recommend to connect with the other elements? Like I know for water, people talk about taking like a salt bath or, like a crystalline Himalayan salt bath. Are there other tools that you would recommend?
I feel for the water, you can also, like I said, go to a beach, just as long as your feet are hitting some type of water, like in a lake, at a beach, is even more efficient as far as even your grounding with earth and water at the same time. Instead of just in a bath, you're grounding with water. And there's always going to be, everybody's going to have a couple elements that they vibe with more. Like, I'm such a bath person, or like, I love, like, being out in nature and the earth, and then there's some people like, I don't really like fire so much, and it's like people get imbalanced. So it's very important, so for the water, like I said, bath, beach, lake. For people that are in snowy areas, they can't really get one with the sun element, which is the fire, is the sun. But you can do candle gazing. You can take a bath and light a candle and just look into the candlelight and just release stagnant energy off your aura into the candlelight. If you work with candlelight, you never want to blow out intentions on candles. If you don't want to leave a candle lit, you can cover it with like a cup, or I like to sometimes just put it out with my fingers. Also, fireplaces are good for fire elements. Air is literally just getting outside and letting the wind blow in your hair. It's my favorite one. Even if it's a hot day, there's always going to be a time of the day where you're going to feel the air.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. I've never thought about it like that before. That's actually a really great idea. And that's probably why, like,
I connect to my guides. And my downloads when I am grounding with the elements. Otherwise, I feel like I get a lot of stagnant energies because as us being psychics, we're also empaths. So we can feel everyone's outside energy. So
Yeah.
if we're not grounded, be hearing someone else's thoughts and not realizing that they could be coming into our frequency.
Yeah, that's so true, honestly. I do notice like if I'm not doing the things that I need to do to cleanse and clear my vessel, like you said, remove that stagnant energy. It's kind of like the same vibe for people who enjoy working out. You start to feel sluggish and sick when you haven't worked out in a while. It really is that same feeling, but I do notice that if I don't take care of myself and I go to the gym, for example, and I run into people, I start feeling everything about their timeline, their soul contracts, especially past lives that people have had. It comes very strong. It's almost like overwhelming, not in a bad way, but just kind of like, wow, like this is a lot of information that I just don't really want to receive right now. So I've definitely
It's
noticed that.
to do a ritual before you leave to go to the gym. You can use incense, sage, anything. You put that bubble aura over you, and you set intentions and affirmations that I am only going to hear beyond this bubble, like so that it's all your energy, because
Yeah.
it's literally like a light switch. Some people don't realize that. Like it's a practice for me daily where I'm like, okay, I know these aren't my thoughts, but like they're coming to me for a reason to transmute it for like the collective.
That's so true.
But if you don't protect yourself, especially going to the gym, you should be able to go work out and not have to deal with everyone else's stagnant energy. So as we evolve and we ascend, our gifts are going to get stronger. We're literally going to be bulletproof. I mean, we're going to be able to go and just whoosh, it's kind of like grabbing like our headphones. I'm like, oh wait, I need to put my shield on. It's
Exactly.
like,
No, that really is what it is. I feel that. I almost like can feel a difference in my body and the way it's like adapting to life now. Like it really is an upgrade, a genetic DNA upgrade. And I guarantee you, like I obviously don't have the resources or the means to do this research, but I guarantee you if there were any scientists that actually sat down and did the research on someone, as far as their DNA and like what's showing up, the expressions that are showing up after their awakening, and especially around this time, which is like prime ascension time, especially, they would find something like for sure. And I don't know why that thought
oh,
just came to me, but I feel like that's just, it's coming through because there's a way to prove things even though you don't need to because it's what we feel, right? And it's what
yeah.
we
And right
learn
now, it's more of
experience.
like an inner knowing. It's an
Yeah,
inner knowing, but they can't prove it, but they don't want to prove it. They want to keep people blinded. They want to keep people and unawakened. They want to
exactly.
keep you in a little box of like, okay, what you need to do and how you need to achieve your life. But when
Yeah,
we awaken, it's a knowing. I mean, some people don't know that and they're just kind of like, oh, I think I had a dream and then it was weird, but like, okay. And then they go back to like their matrix life instead of actually focusing on maybe like writing that dream down or
exactly.
figuring out like what spirit's trying to tell you. Like we all have spirit guides. We all have intuitions. There's some that are more gifted and their third eye's more open, but like we all have that inner knowing, you know?
Yeah,
And that's what the big awakening is right now, is us starting to connect with that inner knowing and starting to use it to help everybody that
yeah.
wants to be helped.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like you can't really force people to do anything or to wake up. I think that the right people, like I always got the impression, for example, with 144,000, because like I grew up Muslim, like I never, and I still associate myself with that faith very much so. I never like knew about the 144,000. I don't even know how that came into my sphere. I think I remember I was just having like a plant medicine experience, and I saw a lighthouse in one of my friend's laptops, and it led down this rabbit trail where I met Archangel Raziel, who I didn't even know who that angel was. And then it led me down to this realization that maybe like the 144, and not even just us exclusive, like there's so many collectives, people, everyone is needed in every place and time to like energetically trickle the domino effect for just the mass awakening. Like it's really like a mathematical equation. Like that's how I've come to understand it more recently. Like you can't try to like figure it out, but everything is placed at the exact perfect moment, even though we don't think that sometimes in that moment because we're stuck and locked with ego and like programmings and like just our own willingness to like want to have control of our journey. But it's so interesting, like really it is. And I learned something recently, like I tried very hard, and I wonder if it's the same with anyone who's watching this in Phoenix. Maybe you've even had this experience. I tried very hard to wake someone up in my personal life, and I realized very, after very many lessons, I almost said very quickly, which honestly I could feel my guides pushing resistance because it took me a really long time to like get it in my head that you're not always going to wake everyone up. Like the right people are designated for each of us to wake us up, or the right experiences. It doesn't even need to be people. um and so that's why I trust, like I feel like everything that's happening, like if I'm going out and stuff and like I am having small talk with a stranger, like I'll sometimes get into this rabbit hole because it's so natural. I feel like people are becoming aware of what's going on. Like there's obviously something weird about what's going on right now, but everyone's going to
Yes.
perceive it differently, and that's okay. I just think it's a little strange, but that doesn't mean that they're wrong. They're experiencing their experience, and we just trust. I mean, that's just the energy I feel. We just trust, literally.
I totally agree with you. I do feel as far as 144,000, most people didn't that are the 144,000 didn't really know what the 144,000 was, their whole time in this existence. It's just more
Yeah.
of a knowing when you're awakened, of
Yeah.
just kind of knowing that, like, hey, I was always kind of different. I really feel that I uplift a lot of people when I go out. I feel that I'm a little special. That doesn't mean that other people are not special, but that
Exactly.
means that the 144,000 are anchoring so much energy for the collective that like we are here to help other people's pain. We are feeling other people's pain. We are the chosen ones to help work with God source energy, with other dimensions to help anchor in. Every the purpose here, there's so many other purposes and star seeds that aren't, like I hate putting a number on something, but it's just more of like an inner knowing that I feel from that.
Yeah.
And as far as we're saying about just really anchoring in and feeling, that people are awakening, and we are the people that are here to help them, because now we're going to start seeing family members or random people, like you said, that you might meet, in the corner, that are all of a sudden starting to question reality and starting to wake up, and like we're already at that level to help assist who wants to be assisted. We cannot, like you said, force awakening. We can only speak our truth, and if it doesn't resonate, then they're just not on our frequency. Like it's not a bad thing, it just means that they have a different purpose here than we do.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a matter of allowing, like literally allowing things. That was so beautifully said, and I really do resonate with that. I like what we're doing within our own collective, if you will, but I recognize and I see that everyone really does have a purpose. Everyone is playing a part. Even if I don't cross paths with that person, they could be someone that is literally living in the middle of nowhere in a random country and only pass by 4 people in their entire existence because of the way that their experience is, and they still have such a powerful imprint. And that's really what
Yeah.
is humbling, because it's like you remember that you're only a fractal piece, and it's almost like not taking things personally. Like you can still have emotions and feel things and get angry. Like that's part of embracing your experience, and like learning about your triggers and your threshold for like emotion, for example, or like expression transmutation. But I feel like now it's like the time to really learn about ourselves, like every single aspect of who we are. Um, and I feel like sometimes, for some people, they don't learn that unless they're really giving themselves isolation and separating themselves from other people, like being alone with your energy and not allowing yourself to be influenced. But other people, maybe if you can't really, if you don't think that you're growing from spending more time with yourself, maybe that means, spending time with people who are also helping you grow. But it's
Yes.
it's just so cool. Like I feel like now when I wake up, I just look at life so differently. Honestly, for some reason, I've been thinking about really. Well, I'll share this with you because you know my story with Anubis. But lately, I've been really feeling like this detachment to the physical, like knowing that I have this like list of, and I wonder if other people resonate with this energy, you may not, but I only share because I'm feeling guided to. But it's like I feel like I am almost detaching myself from the reality in the sense that I'm still very much, I want to be this, this, and this. I have my goals. It's very important to have your goals and to like visualize and to set that intention out there. But it's almost like I'm not. Did you just sneeze?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, bless you. I'm so glad that that just happened. Do you know why? Wow, that was so perfect. In my culture, no, literally, I got so confused because it froze. Oh my gosh, I can't believe and it's like frozen with you just smiling. That's so adorable. Okay. Oh my god.
Because my energy, I sneezed, I knocked the
Literally, like the energy.
I
Okay, so
sneezed
like
the whole internet. I lost concentration, and it was like bloop, 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 bloop.
like literally, like that's so crazy. You know, in my culture, sneezing is actually a really good sign. Like a really good sign. So I just paid attention to what I said in that moment when you sneezed. And may God bless you. I hope whatever whatever was in your mind when you sneezed comes true. I couldn't tell if you sneezed or not. I literally froze. It's so funny. You cracked
I
me
know
up.
you because I kind of like shielded it away. I was like,
It was that's funny. No, but literally like there's so much love and positive energy and just confirmations. There's a whole round of things to look forward to. But I know that you said earlier you were talking about the shadow, and I definitely feel that energy as well. Like I feel like there's a good number of a masculine collective that is experiencing shadow work, but we're all experiencing shadow work, right? In like different ways. I know I am, and
yeah.
like how would you really how do you define shadow work? Like, I feel like people try to put sometimes a timestamp on how long it takes to heal or how to like consciously or actively show up for shadow work. How would you like recommend starting with that? Is it just like being present and letting it come to you?
I feel like the best way to start shadow work is just accepting that you have wounds that need healing. You know, when we have
Yeah.
like trauma responses, we have things that come back to our lives and we don't face them properly. That's us not facing our shadow self. But when we start acknowledging that, like, hey, there's a cycle, there's a repetitiveness, there's a healing within that I don't feel is right anymore, that is you first starting because you're acknowledging that there's something to work on. When you start actually, you know, getting into your creative nature, journaling on things, setting more boundaries within yourself, doing more grounding. I always talk a lot about self-love. We need to have self-love within. And when we get triggered from past traumas, we need to be able to transmute them properly so that we don't just keep lingering them within our aura. Like we don't need to keep them there, but shadow work is something that is ongoing forever because we're always going to have triggers, especially in this lifetime, just from our own past traumas. But as we do our shadow work, we learn how to transmute them quicker. You know, they kind of just become like a light switch instead of like a burden, you
Exactly.
know?
Wow. Yeah, it's so beautifully said. I really love that you said all of that because that's exactly how I would have worded it as well. And it's interesting because oftentimes in this journey we think that the shadow work is going to be a short period of time. It's like, maybe my shadow work is as long as it'll take, you know, with one particular relationship, the time frame of like how long I date a person, but actually it could be longer than that. Like you said, there's like different triggers, so that means there's going to be different elements of shadow work. If we have a whole lifetime, you know, a whole life, most of us live a whole long lifetime, a good enough amount of years, that's probably like you could think of it as the amount of time that of things to learn about yourself, the healing that you could
Yeah.
potentially have, the shadow work. And it's not to say that you're always going to be, I feel like, down in the dumps. It's just like a process of like learning and unlearning, really, because it's so wild to think that there's been so many like civilizations of just programmings that have been engraved in us in past lives, but also our generational tree. So like everyone in this lifetime, it's almost as if they're like 2 times or 10 times maximized in the amount of things that need to be transmuted and released, is what it feels
Yeah.
like. Like we're all the black sheep of our family tree, but we're also all carrying like the I don't want to call it burdens, like just the weight of all
We're
these
here
things.
to transmute. We're here to
Yeah.
transmute the cycles. Like there's certain people that are, like I tell my mom all the time, like I love you, but like I'm way older than you and your great great grandmother. Like so just back up.
Yeah.
And then she gets all like, "Oh my God, you're crazy," and I'm like, "No, I'm not." Like I know your great grandmother that you didn't even know her name because I channel her all the time. Like I'm here to help you people,
Yeah.
and like some will never understand, and that's when you have your soul family. That's where you have the people that you can vent to so that you don't feel crazy some days. And the shadow work never ends, but once you can transmute it, it doesn't mess with you anymore. It's literally, it becomes like a joke after a while,
Yeah.
but you have to be awakened enough to laugh it off and to not allow it. And I'd like to tell too, like some of my clients, like to just start to surrender to what's meant for me will be for me. Like so many people always want to wait until this light at the end of the tunnel, and I've done all this work and I've done all these things and I'm still unhappy, and like why am I unhappy? You're still putting that in the collective until you can release and surrender and know that you're going to have good days and know that you're going to have bad days, and take what you can from each day, and do pros and cons if you need to journal or you need to dance or whatever to transmute. But you start to eventually become more bulletproof to where the universe is like, okay, this person's ready now, and then the blessings just come like raindrops all over in a positive way.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so true. Like releasing, like moving through the shadow and like releasing that is like really owning who you are unapologetically. I posted a tweet about this, like I think yesterday or the day before, about love and light, because I feel like in this journey, whether again, whether you're awakened or awakening or ascending and you're watching this, like I said, there's, like we've been talking about, there's always new levels that we're getting to. But it's interesting because I tweeted something that I kept hearing as like having a bad connotation in the community of saying things like love and light, and that it's important that we don't like gaslight or bypass our own truth and like who we are and like the wounding that we have. And I feel like
Yeah.
unconditional love and true authentic love is understanding the polarity of the light, is understanding the darkness. So when we say in love
Yeah.
and light, we're actually saying in love of all things and light, or in dark and light, i.e., in yin and yang,
More
in
like as
oneness.
above, like as above, so below. Like
Yes,
like
exactly.
the
As a
workers of
concept.
all these sugar cane rainbows, and I'm like, dude, like what are you working with? Like I need to hit you on the head with like my selenite or some shit. It's like, no.
Yeah,
Until you can face that you're a light worker, you're a healer, you're a wounded healer, it's always as above, so below.
exactly.
Because it's like you can't just bypass all your darkness. Sometimes some people's dark nights of the soul is what helped them rise. It's what made them grow. So it's like if all of a sudden you're like, I don't need you anymore because I'm up here now. I try to take them with me. I'm like, we're all rising.
Yeah,
Like we're
I
all
love that. Yes.
And then if I have to get in a bar fight, I'm like, hey, motherfuckers, let's roll. Okay, gotta go.
Yeah. It's like
It's
you're so
accepting all
powerful and
parts of.
exactly. Yes, you just said it. Literally accepting all parts of you regardless. Because I do think that like the dark and the light are ascending. Like I do think in the sense that like I do think that there are people or beings, however you want to look at it, who carry like a darker frequency or darker soul imprint, the nature of their imprint. I don't know what it is, but it's like something within their
And that's
contract, perhaps what
more
they
of
signed
like
up for, they are.
that's warrior.
Exactly. Yes. And you know what? Those people are also awakening and ascending. Like, I feel like everyone, I mean, it's, people will say like there's different, beings, and that's just like a whole other conversation to get into. But overall, everyone is, the whole collective, when we say the collective, is literally every human being that's alive. And it just keeps going generation to generation of people just awakening. Like, I'm literally picturing like this, like energy light just expanding, and it just keeps growing and growing bigger, almost like the corona of the sun, which is so funny that I said that because Aries fire, like the corona of the sun just getting bigger and bigger, but it's light.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I
Yes.
love it.
We're all
Well,
opening up and we're embracing.
oh,
We're really embracing our fire signs in Aries season. We're embracing that darkness within, that energy that got us through, our dark nights, like to see the light.
yeah, exactly. You know what's interesting? You said something earlier that it
I
keeps
think
coming
it's
back into my.
freezing again.
Is it? Can you hear me? You are freezing a little bit too, but am I freezing on your end? Is that better, you guys? Anyone who's watching, Phoenix, is it better? Okay.
Yes.
Probably because I
I
touched
can
my
hear you.
phone. Remember what you said earlier? You were like, just don't touch
Yeah,
your
but it's
phone.
very little bit. Like we
Yeah, it's
can
probably
still
that.
hear, but it's
Yeah, it's
we're
like as soon as you touch
goddesses.
something. Exactly. It's like when you hug someone and then you get a shock. It's like the same thing. Um,
Yes.
what was I gonna say? Oh yeah. Okay, I lost it. That happened for a reason. It's about to come back though. It's very interesting that I just forgot it. It'll come back. But this energy is just like calling us to wake up and step into our sacred self. And now I feel like the most efficient, easy way to do that is really just like going with the flow with what your soul needs. Now, here's the thing. This is something that I've been figuring out recently and trying to like work around because Phoenix, like we can agree that there's so many people on the planet that are in positions where it's not easy to look them in the eye and say, like you can just rise, right? Like if they're in different circumstances, and it's hard for me to speak about people who are in those places because I don't know. But I can resonate with having a dark night, having like uh, basically my shadow period or my crisis, my quarter life crisis. And I feel like that energy is literally what allows us to like transcend through the darkness. Okay, the image just, thank you. What I wanted to say just came back to me. So earlier you said something where you were saying like walking through the tunnel and or there
Mm-hmm.
you're mentioning a light at the end of the tunnel. And I keep having this image recurring to me as like you're the light. Like you know how like in olden times like you would carry a candle through the tunnels, like the dark tunnels just to see, or like through
Yes.
the castle. Like literally that's what I'm seeing. Like you are that light, you are that candle, that flame that's like walking through the dark tunnel. And
Yes.
I'm reminded of something else, like I said, I grew up Muslim, so I really never ever read the Bible, but I do channel stuff from the Bible like very frequently. Like it just comes in, which is really cool, honestly. But I learned something recently. My guides kept talking about, they kept saying like the book of Genesis, and I was like, what is that? So I was asking a friend just this past weekend, I was like, hey, do you know anything about the book of Genesis? I could have researched it, but honestly, I waited until that moment where it came back into my conscious. And they said it's about the story of creation, the beginning story of creation. I was like, okay, this is interesting. As I started, like, I googled it, started reading about it, and apparently there's a verse that says, "And God said, let there be light." So that just got reminded to me again. I feel like that's literally what it is. Like we are the light in our tunnel right now, every single person,
We
right?
are. I feel like the more awakened we are, the more of the light beings are coming through to help everyone see the light within themselves, because so many
Yeah.
people with the spiritual awakening has been at the dark night of the soul. So they are the ones that need to see the light within. And, a lot of us chosen people to help people see that light. This is like our mission right now, is to really help raise that light so that people can see that the light is within them. And when you say the image of walking through like a castle holding a flame, like I can see myself doing that, but I also see myself walking in that dark room holding the candle, but I still see a window with the
I
sun.
love
Like I still see that. I know we're the light, but I still see
yeah.
that we can still get closer to something higher,
Yeah. I
but
love
we need
that
to
you said
anchor
that.
it,
Yeah,
bring it in.
exactly. Exactly.
Or
Like
I
there's
won't
always
bring it in, we're more anchoring it out.
mm, okay. Uh-oh, looks like she froze. That was so, so good. Oh my gosh. So, so good, you guys. Thanks for hanging in there and showing love to each other in the comments. I feel like she can probably hear me. It's just frozen on my end. But I just wanted to like say something really quickly because I keep hearing as within, so without. So let me just invite her back in. As within, so without. Like we are really anchoring in the external into the internal energies, like intertwined almost, like the infinity sign. That frequency is really circling in our lives right now, and we are going to get consistent confirmations about like very personal things to our character and behavior, our personality, what we desire. Let me add her in. Sorry, I'm really bad at multitasking. And honestly, that's really exciting because the more people that get downloads about their life and they take note of it, like, oh, I just experienced this and it resonates with me. This is an answer, another key to my life. Why isn't it coming up? There it is. Then you hold on to that knowledge and that reflects into the collective. So the rest of the collective is going to get like downloads and insight about their own lives. Again, as within, so without, as above, so below. It becomes a ripple effect. Okay, so I'm not sure. We've pretty much like gotten almost to the hour, but I'm not sure if Phoenix wants to join back. Let's see if it'll work. Could be her internet. We'll just give it a few minutes. But for anyone that is watching currently, hello, thanks for being here. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Let's see what comes through. And I'm just very grateful for everyone sharing this space together, being on the planet, and just raising the frequency in your own life, because that definitely does make a difference for this butterfly effect universe that we're living in. I'm gonna go through the comments real quick, and I do see some familiar faces. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Let's see. Coronal. Yes, we are lightening up. I want to say something real quick about okay, this is so strange. My live is being weird. I'm going to give Phoenix a few minutes, but I want to say something about what we were sharing earlier about darkness and like really learning and growing through our tower moments. I do feel at this time like anything that comes up is encouraging us to basically take the higher road. Basically from an energy where you are not judging yourself, but when you are being given an experience or just a moment and something is happening that is challenging you to sort of make a decision or a choice, it's almost like you're being reflected. Like there's a mirror in that moment where you have to make a choice that is being shown to you, to take a step back and say, okay, what is a choice that will reflect my highest good? What is a choice that will fuel my awareness or understanding of my own inner demons or shadows or darkness? I.e., what is the choice that will essentially be the choice that will liberate me? And even if you don't know that answer, or you don't know like what would be the right choice to pick, and I don't know why choices is coming through for me, but maybe someone's going to resonate with this who's tuning in. You'll essentially find out eventually what the right answer is, but whether you choose right or left, both sides will show you what is meant for you. Like you will ultimately experience anyway what you are meant to experience or the lesson that you're meant to have. And if that's not the case, if you were supposed to pick choice A or you're supposed to pick the path to the right, I feel like the universe will almost help you, like your guides, your ancestors, your spiritual support team will almost like help you, like encourage you. I'm sort of seeing like this is really a random image. I have no personal connection to this, but like a bunch of like camp counselors, or it's almost like pre-K, like teachers or something that are like scooting a kid to like get into, I guess, play with other kids. That's kind of the energy that I'm feeling. It's like you're getting ready to play with all the other aspects of who you are. So embrace the darkness that is coming through, because whatever choice you make to understand that darkness, to transmute it, to heal it, to even pick a path that is stepping away from that darkness, i.e., letting go of things that no longer serve you, will be the choice that you are meant to ultimately pick, and will be the choice that will serve your ascension. So I'm gonna see if Phoenix wants to get back up, but honestly, we did almost a full hour, so I'm not sure. I'm just gonna invite her one more time, but otherwise, if anyone has any questions, don't be shy. Leave your comments, and if you want to do a live with me in the future, definitely reach out. Also, if you would like to book a reading with Phoenix, she does take clients, by the way. She's a really great psychic, so definitely follow her. If you're not following her already, connect with her, because I think she has a link in her bio, or you could probably send her a message. She's really, really gifted, and she'll bring in kind of that necessary awareness and understanding of sort of the behind the veil, and also with the elementals and this earthly experience. So, okay, you guys, I don't think Phoenix is going to join, so I'm just going to send you all away. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much for tuning into the live. I'm not really sure when I'm going to do another live next, but if you want to do a live with me, definitely let me know. Hello, hello, and we will all chat soon. Okay, guys, take care.